Malaria is becoming a really big problem. It kills more than 1 million people every year, and a child dies from it every 30 seconds.
It's true. More than 500 million people contract malaria every year. It's a lot of possible business.
Yeah, but 90% of the cases of malaria are in Africa. We'd have to sell the drugs for really cheap.
Well, you know drug resistance is becoming a big problem. I'll bet the WHO will put out big bucks for a new drug that works.
Didn't know about this resistance problem. What do you mean?
Malaria is transmitted by mosquitoes, which inject a parasite into the host. Plasmodium falciparum is the worst parasitic strain. It's responsible for the most severe cases.
Okay, so you're saying that we need to have multiple drugs to develop to work with this resistance problem?
Yeah, pretty much.
Who's at risk for contracting these resistant strains?
Everyone's at risk for contracting malaria, but those that are older, younger, and immunocompromised are at the highest risk.
Okay, Lee, let's get back on track. I thought chloroquine and quinine were handling this problem.
I wouldn't call it a problem if we can make a couple billion off this.
High five! Actually, there's increasing resistance to chloroquine and sulfadoxine antimalarials. There are currently no effective alternatives.
So where are we going to go to for new ideas?
Simple, ladies, simple. Ethnopharmacology.
What?
Ethnopharmacology is a scientific study correlating ethnic groups and its pharmacological aspects of a culture's medical treatment.
Wait, actually, I think there's a shaman out back. He said he might have something to show us.
More than 1,200 plant species from 160 families are used to treat malaria and fever by people like us. Many have been shown to be effective antimalarials in scientific studies. In Ghana, Mali, Nigeria, and Zambia, 60% of children with fever and malaria get treated with herbal medicines at home first.
When you say that these children are treated at home, do you mean a shaman comes to a house to treat them?
Well, in certain regions of the Congo, for example, less than 10% of the population visits health facilities, but more often visit traditional healers, buy antimalarials in the marketplace, or do nothing at all. In fact, one study found that 32% of people with fevers were treated at home, while 8% bought drugs at pharmacies, and only 2% visited traditional healers. It depends on where you are.
How do you use these plants?
Watch and learn.
Well, lots of different plant parts are used in these very special preparations. We use the fruits, the leaves, the bark, the stems, pretty much any part you can imagine. Usually they're boiled in water and taken as a tea. Some people put honey, some people put sugar. In Western Kenya, the most common method is burning of the plant. Some people put the whole plant in their house. It really depends on where you are, but it requires lots of skill.
And what in these plants makes them effective?
You know, all kinds of chemicals. There's the steroids, the anthraquinones, what else?
Well, there's coumarins, flavonoids, lignans, xanthones, and anthraquinones.
But the plants are only one small part. I'm doing a spiritual ceremony. I'm calling back the ghost that stole the person's soul so that I can make the person better. You drug people probably think that sounds phony, but that's really what it's about.
Yeah, spirits. So what are some of these plant names that are used?
Well, PubMed research indicates that an aqueous root extract of Cryptolepis sanguinolenta shows promise in the treatment of falciparum malaria, demonstrating parasitic presence only 1 day longer than chloroquine, and actually faster clearance of fever by 12 hours. Many other plants have been studied and shown to be effective. The problem is that most of these studies have been on lots of different plants, so it would be really hard to know where to start. But for the people who use botanical remedies every day in Africa, they seem to work pretty well.
Well, how do we know they really work? Let's ask our resident pharmacologist.
Hyaluronic properties that produce hypotensive effects, anti-inflammatory properties, and antibacterial properties. Its presynaptic adrenal receptor blocking action has antimuscarinic properties that produce hypotensive effects, and anti-inflammatory properties, antibacterial effects. The product we will probably go with will probably be a tea extract.
Is that an organization like the WHO would support our investing in these products?
Actually, in August 2003, they asked African governments to formally recognize traditional medicine. They also recognized that traditional medicine is successfully used for treatment of malaria.
Well, shaman.